one of my buddies in the InsurTech world, one of our buddies. These guys have a bromance going on. I just kind of like, I'm the third wheel or the fourth wheel. So with us, we have Pankaj from Purple Ant. And
Hello, buddy.
Hello.
So Pankaj, why don't you introduce yourself and then we'll let Nick and Brent go.
Sure. Happy to. Thanks, Bobbie, for inviting on this happy Friday. I wish every day is a happy day. TGIF. But yeah, this is Pankaj Parashar. I'm the co-founder of Purple Ant, all the way from Chicago, dialing in, and happy to participate today.
Awesome.
I am Nick Lamparelli, Chief Underwriting Officer at Rethought Insurance, a climate nat cat-based MGA and podcaster at Coverager. And I think the other guy that's going to talk is like, are you guys twins? You look...
My Indian brother from another mother.
There you go.
Hey, everyone. I'm Brent Williams, founder and CEO of Benekiva. Happy Friday.
So with our tradition of Happy Friday, we share Happy Friday stories. Pankaj, will let you go last if you like. So who would like to start?
I'll start.
Good.
Okay.
So a couple Happy Friday stories, one business, one personal. The business, you know, a couple weeks we shared, we went live with our first tier 1 client, and the happy news is we had our stakeholder reach out to me and said, hey, they're having an upper level executive meeting, and the only thing on the agenda is Benekiva. And I was like, wow, that sounds pretty special. And they said, no, it is special. There's usually not a meeting like that. And I said, okay, so what's the intent? And they said, well, we're going to push to do 4 more initiatives with Benekiva right away as opposed to waiting. And I said, great. You know, so the next day he comes back and says, all 4 initiatives have been funded and ready to move forward. And so Bobbie actually had the news before I did, because they, you know, the 2 teams work pretty close together. But anyway, that did make me happy that, you know, Benekiva made such an impact very quickly that they decided to move forward with other things. It was interesting. He was telling me that, you know, when Benekiva went live, they expected maybe 5 or 10 transactions, you know, the first day. And I think they had 100 or 187 or something like that. And they said they were just blown away with how the people are just adopting this new process. So obviously that made them rethink their time frame and actually, you know, put pedal to the metal, which is good for us. So that's my business one. My personal one is I've shared with you guys, and I think we're all on this physical fitness and mental health and wellness kick. And I started this program with an Iowa State wrestler, former Iowa State wrestler, and today was our first 1 month of, you know, working out, you know, doing these regimented workouts 3 days a week. And so we were at the gym, and, you know, we took a picture at the end of the first week, we took a picture at the gym, and then we took another picture today. And I was like, holy crap. I mean, you know, you see yourself every day, so you don't really notice much changes over time. But man, when you look at a picture from a month ago versus a picture today, you're like, wow, I really am different. I mean, I really am stronger. I really am, you know, more fit. So anyway, that made me pretty happy that, you know, we accomplished that goal. And we've got one more month of this particular regiment, and then we shift over to another even harder regiment. So I'm looking forward to that. So anyway, that's my Happy Friday story.
Good job. Good job. Regarding your business story, because I Bobbie might have a similar story as well. You guys are becoming a platform.
Yeah.
The standard.
The standard. I love it.
So last week is when we shared with Brent, like the news, when he said, so we did the same trick that we were laughing about on Happy Fridays. We pulled the same trick on him to say, we've got a news for you, Brent, and I couldn't hold
it. Oh, Bobbie.
Hopeless.
Yeah,
Well,
congratulations though, Brent. That's awesome. I mean, tier one leadership, you
Yeah.
just need to put it out the ether, and I can see, you know, ching ching ching, right? People wanting to get into the Benegiva action, which
Yeah.
is awesome, man. We need more stories like these. So
yep,
congratulations.
yeah.
Thank you.
Brett, my story kind of dovetails with yours on the personal side. So same thing,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'm not keeping track of like when I started. I don't even know when that happened. I just sort of started doing something and it just became a thing. And now I just walk. I walk in the morning. I had an executive meeting where I didn't have to be on video. I went out for a walk, called a client, went outside, did it. So you're right. Like the thing, it pays off.
Yeah.
It's just a habit now.
Yeah.
I just, when that happens, I just automatically stay. I was even thinking for this happy Friday thing, like, I bet I could do this outside while I'm walking.
Yeah.
So now I'm like, how am I going to do it without making everybody dizzy? And can I get a strong enough internet connection? But so whenever it started, whether it was 2-3 months ago, I don't know. But it's like I'm now another belt size, so another loop in the belt. And my wife said, just weigh yourself, and because I don't want to use that as a thing, but it's now 25 pounds.
Wow.
So yeah, and I don't like I didn't see it, Brett, but I noticed like a shirt that was like tight is
Yeah.
not as tight.
Right.
I noticed when I went for my walk, if I didn't wear a belt and I had my phone in my pocket, my pants would start falling, my shorts would start falling down.
Yep.
So it's like that was the first sign that like something's happening. And then this week, the other belt notch. So that's my personal happy story. Anyone that's listening, it's not rocket science, but you just got to do it and make it just do it, make it a habit. It's hard, I know, but I'm so happy that I've prioritized that in my life.
You're wearing the shirt for it. Just do it.
Just do it. That's right, Nike. On the business side, I can't specifically say what happened, but we're about to reach a milestone, and things are going to drastically change. And so it's similar to Benekiva's story. Like the team is likely to grow and change and all of that stuff. And it's things that we had been like, okay, if we can just get to this point, we'll then have the resources to do this next thing, which could be the big thing that's about to happen. And so talking to people on the team with, morale was frankly suffering a little bit because it's like it took so long to get to this milestone because of COVID and a whole bunch of other stuff. So I think they were starting to lose faith. Like they thought, you guys are just talking, like this thing's just not going to happen. And it's almost hard for them to believe, like, oh my God, like really? It's actually going to happen. So there's a lot of excitement about what's going to happen, but the change that we can make. And that's like our mission now it's not a monetary thing. It's we can affect change here. If we do this right, we can change how insurance, certain kinds of insurance, not all of it, but a certain kind is bought and sold.
Yep.
So exciting.
Cool. Pretty cool.
Yeah. Stressful,
Awesome.
exhausting. Bobbie can't sleep because she's got too much work. I can't sleep because of the anxiety of like what's to come. But so. Yeah.
Hey, if it was easy, everybody'd do it.
I know.
I tell Bobbie all the time. If it was easy, everybody'd do it.
Yep.
And it makes
That's
it worthwhile.
Why they say we're a special breed, right? Entrepreneurs, because it's special breed.
Yeah.
Congrats, Nick. I think I know what you're talking about. So you and I touched base. So I'm glad to see you getting there and moving past that. I don't know how you do it, man. You are like on every freaking podcast. You're on coverage. You're reaching these milestones. You're helping me, right? You're like a helping hand in so many different ways. It's amazing, man.
It's just the way that I operate, and I try to delegate everything else if I can. So this milestone will help me do more of this, Pankaj.
Yeah.
That's like what makes me excited. Like this
Yeah.
will allow me to have more conversations with people like Ben Akiva and Purple Ant and solve problems. And you know, there's another story that happened this week, and I'm not going to bring it up, but it just people like us, this next wave coming in, we think very differently than the people who are in there now.
Yeah.
Very differently. And I think it's that difference in thinking makes all the difference. Like we will change stuff.
I couldn't agree with you more. We say internally at Ben Akiva, I always say there's 3 types of individuals. There's those who think inside the box. There's those who think outside the box. And then there are those, the rare breed, who think there is no box. Right? We're the rare breed. There is no box. Let's go build one. Let's go make
Yeah.
it. There are no constraints. There are no, my grandpa always used to say, you tell me can't, and I'll prove you wrong every single time.
Yep.
There
Smart guy.
box.
So, Bobbie, what's your story?
So I have a couple. On the fitness side, just a quick reminder and a gratitude to our awesome fitness insurtech folks like Nigel, Nick, Sharon. There's more insurance elephant. Pat has been on a fitness wagon. So if you're looking for motivation, follow us. We like to post workouts, like to challenge you to 50 burpees. Brent did those last week. I was very proud of him. So I think it's just a community. So very grateful for that. On the business side, couple of cool things that Brent's already talked about, but we are looking to add another delivery manager. So as our team, so I told the team, I was on a call and I basically said, no, it's not an 80% chance they'll close. It's 100%. I'm already celebrating. So with that, I need another person because it kind of allows us to reach that another higher milestone. So when we hire good people, it just makes all of our lives easier.
Yeah.
And then on the, I told the team earlier that I pull like an all-nighter, but this is like one of those, like working for your own business, right?
Yeah.
I don't even care. I had so much fun at 3 a.m. because I was like problem solving. I felt like I was back in my college coding days where I was like on coffee and just like coding away. But I mean, it was just fun, right?
You
entrepreneurs
coders,
are a special breed.
you coders are a different breed. Like I can't keep my eyes would cross. I would make so many mistakes. And that you can continue to produce, I'm sure you do make mistakes, but that you can continue to produce and sort of catch them and stuff. You guys are a special breed. Like seriously, it's like almost in your DNA.
So I haven't done hard coding in a while, but I still get my hands dirty. I've been a DBA forever. And every role I've had since Pepsi, where I left that to move on to managing teams, kept that side of that skill set, like the data analytics side of the house, which it just fulfills a small thing. I know people talk about delegating, but it's also about sharpening your saw. And sometimes you've got to do things that will, like I'm learning a new technology and a new language, right? Because, I used to be in Microsoft, moved into Java, now moved into open source. It's just fun, So it's, you can delegate as much as you want, but sometimes it's always good to have that skill set in-house too. Mm-hmm. So you can do your own.
I think pushing boundaries is important, right, Bobbie? That's what you're doing. You're pushing your own boundaries and you're nobody's asking you to, but you're taking that up, which is awesome. So congratulations.
Yeah.
And, that, by the way, all of those
crazy.
Bobbie, it's so important. Like I was speaking to a colleague peer, and we were talking about he gave like some talk or presentation to a bunch of insurance executives, and he asked them, like, how many of you have like an IT background? No hands. How many do you feel as though you have at least a working skill set in IT? No one raised their hand. It's like, well, how are you supposed to know if your IT strategy works? Like, you're 100% dependent on having the right people. But like, I'm with you, Bob. I like to keep my hands a little bit dirty, even if I am delegating, just so I know like how the sausage gets made, right? And it's not foreign to me. I think it's extremely important just to keep your skills sharp, know what's out there, so you can make intelligent decisions, even if you are delegating.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, anytime I go into an insurance carrier and I look at their CTO or CIO, information officer, not innovation, but and when they don't come with an IT background, you just have to flip your switch, right? You have to know that
Yeah.
you're not talking to somebody that's been there. They're more dependent on their mid-level folks. That's going to be the person who I need to sell to, not this guy. So
Cool. Yeah, so I guess that leaves me.
That leaves you.
Leaves
Big
me.
shoes to fill. What do you got? We saved
best for
you
the
for last.
Yeah, no, but I think I've got a couple of stories or share as well. So I'll start with the personal side. That's the easier one for me because I just celebrated my birthday last week.
Nice.
And we've got COVID and everything going on, so it wasn't much that I could expect to be doing. But I got a surprise, and that surprise is what I wanted to share. Where my friends from my college, where my MBA college, uh, graduated 25 years ago, and they did a surprise for me. I had a Zoom call where there were a bunch of videos that they made, and one friend in particular, she is amazingly creative. What she did was she took my real life videos, purple pondering videos, and and cutting and snipping pieces of like me talking, just created a whole new story with those pieces and stitched it together in this very funny like storyline, right? And made like not just one, like three of those with three different storylines. So I had those videos. I had some other friends that I've not been in touch with, and this particular group of friends who had the Zoom call with, we've been meeting every week for the last 6 months. It's our stress buster, so it's a special group of friends all over the world. um, that made my day, right? So for them to take out that much amount of time
Yeah.
and put in that effort tells me that they would not do it if they didn't care, right? So that feeling came across loud and clear that even though it's COVID times, we're not meeting anyone. It feels like who the hell, would anybody care how you're doing? But no, people do care. So
Oh, yeah.
I was just hit very strongly with it, and that made me redouble my effort also, because I've been helping out with some of my friends are hitting the 50 mark this year. Not me. I still got one more year to go. But we've been helping them with some special ways to just make them feel good. So
Yeah.
that was on the personal side. Um, I'm not yet there with you guys on the physical fitness side. I do want to get there one day.
Come
But
join us.
here's the thing that stops me back. Come winter time, I can do all the exercise, but I have a sweet tooth and I need a drink, a wine, like to go with it. And
me too.
I can't handle it because I think I can manage the drinks, but the eating is like it just undoes everything that I do from an exercise standpoint. So here's what I do every year though. On 1st of January, I give all alcohol up. I really go onto this regimented fitness regime with good food, and I carry that through July, August, September, October, depending on how far I can take it. But then I'm a 0-1 guy. I either want to go all out or I can manage not doing anything at all, right? So moderation is not my baby.
Guess what, Pankaj? Let's just call today January 1.
No excuses.
There
And
is
you know what?
no-
Here's a secret. Here's a secret. I exercise so I can eat.
I'm the same way. I still have cupcakes. I
Yep.
do all that
Do
stuff.
it.
I do that.
It'll make you feel better. Then you can eat. Go ahead, eat.
I'm
Yeah.
doing that. So you see the effect, it doesn't show. So I have to cut down. So for me, look, everybody's body and metabolism is different. For me, if I exercise, I have to cut down on my food and drinks for the effect to show. Like I am now motivated when I look at my brother here. He's freaking lost 2 sizes on me, and I'm looking like his elder brother. Hate that. Right? Absolutely hate that. So all right. So that's on the
Brent,
personal side.
stop shaming your brother. How many times do I have to tell you? No playing ball in the house.
Yeah, and then I think on the business side, the professional side, I would say, the best news that we had was, one, we've seen, like with COVID, a lot of people like us, especially in the earlier stages, went on we had to go on a pause mode, re-look at all the expenses, the customer traction cost kind of went on a pause because everybody was evaluating, because we're an IoT based PNC focused service provider. So, as those guys figured out what was happening, but we've seen these guys come back over the last couple of months, which is great, both on the personal lines and on the commercial line side. And we're pursuing some really interesting opportunities. And Nick's got one thread, which I think is absolutely game changing. Back to your point, Brent, about like having no box, right? I think we have a vision of what this could be, right? Without any, like if I had to start from scratch today, what is the potential of that PNC product in the property space? What could that look like? So we can make that happen. I think the best angle that I had was we're working very closely with one of those carriers, and they came to us with just an idea that, look, is there any way that we're discussing a pilot engagement as an objective apart from the loss prevention and the customer engagement? Is there a revenue angle to it? Can we use this service to create a new revenue stream for the carrier? And so we checked out on a couple of buttons that we came back with some pretty positive news. So to me, that was a big aha moment, that listen, if I can figure out that working with Purple Land is going to help you create a new revenue stream for you, and carriers are thinking that way, is amazing, right? It just kind of
Yeah,
made my day. That impact,
has to.
like, it just is too. So I'm just excited taking that over the weekend, thinking about how the hell do I
Awesome.
now use this insight to get a better message out there. So
Brent changed my view on things with that very simple podcast that he and I did when he walked me through the Benekiva business model and sort of linked what they did, which was an expense, and linked it back to this is how it can bring revenue back to your company. My mind went because I was just like, if you can do that, everyone is interested in revenue. No one is interested in an expense. So it's huge. Congratulations.
Yeah, that's awesome.
thank you. Yeah, so we'll keep the pedal to the metal, and yeah, that's my story.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Pankaj, for being our guest of honor. Didn't do too much bromancing, which was awesome.
We need to do this every 6 months or 3 months, or not having to wait a long time. But this was awesome, Bobbie. Thanks for inviting me as a guest. I always enjoy engaging and interacting. This is family to me. This is not guests, right? This is just, it's also always good to catch up with family. So love to do this again.
Awesome.
Well,
thanks, Bobbie.
Thank you, Nick.
Thanks, Brent.
Thank you, Brent. Happy Friday, everyone.
Happy Friday.